We're in the middle of something so incredibly profound right now. I think you might all be feeling it in all different ways. As we come into this Aquarian age, as we come into this age we've been waiting thousands of years for, we're waiting, and many of us are full of a lot of trepidation, maybe or a lot of fears. Others are very, very excited, and maybe it's a combination of both. And as we approach this time 11-11-11, it's like the launching pad that takes us into this Aquarian age. And we're very excited about it. We're going to be in India at that time. Which, is anybody going with us? I know there are people across Canada. We have about 600 people that will join us in Rishikesh. Now, it's not too late. Passports, visas can be gotten. It starts the 4th of November. We have Deva Pramal and Minton, whom I think all of you know, and our beloved Sonata, and many other musicians and many other yoga teachers. On the 10th of November is the full moon, and it's Guru Nanak's birthday, and we'll be doing kirtan all night long. In the morning we'll be having a wedding from some folks from Cape Town, South Africa. And it's going to have lots of kids and lots of surprises. But wherever you are, make that an important day. Full moon, Guru Nanak's birthday, who brought these teachings basically, and 11-11-11, which marks, I'm going to ask Guru Shabbat to just speak a moment, because he's remembers stuff more than I do, so I do, but he always explains it better, that he can explain. So whether you're in Semper Viva that day, or you're in another town or another yoga center, or you're just in your home, to pause and to use this full moon and this time for celebration, and as we launch into this golden age that we've been waiting up to 13,000 years for. Amazing shift that we're in. I was given a wonderful book. Right now there are so many seminars, there's so many occasions for celebration, for learning by so many authentic people. And someone had attended a seminar in Arizona, in Sedona, and it was with all scientists that had put together the order of the universe in a scientific way, and it was a long weekend seminar. And she came back with a big thick book that was too thick for me, but she came back with a children's book, and it was called Tommy the Time Traveling Turtle, because turtles are so reptilian and so old, and he had gone through all of history from the beginning. And it wasn't like many of us learned in school, where we were all apes, and then we all of a sudden took not all of a sudden, but took up our front legs and stood up and all of that stuff. It's like, it's been a 2 billion year process that the human being, and this is almost like behind the scenes scientists, because basically the church, the government, and regular folks want us to believe in certain things, and what they're saying is, no, we've always been here. And we've gone through this whole cycle before. There's been a time of great peace. There's been golden ages before. There's been the times where the consciousness has... Somehow, I didn't get this thing right. Somehow, we've all been in enlightened states before. And then we reincarnate back, we go through all the lifetimes, we forget, collectively we begin to remember, we all get there. And so this isn't anything new that's happened on planet Earth before. However, it's been thousands of years, and we can all look back, especially if you've been alive as long as I, or maybe even 30 years you can remember back, of how it had been. And really, in many, many ways, better now. You can say, well, how can it be better? There's still so many people starving. There's still the economy and everything. But if you look at it from like the Middle Ages or the Dark Ages or the plagues and all of that, it really is better now, but it has to go more steps. And the step we need is living for each other. Once we step into that, there's a consciousness. It can't just be a rule made by the government or by the church. It has to be felt. And how is it being felt now, which is so exciting? People are no longer getting happiness in just shopping and acquiring. Yes, you can say, but a lot of people are, but I don't think any of you are. Yes, you're getting some. You're getting still a little hit off buying that pair of shoes or something happens. But generally, all of us know, or otherwise you would be sitting here on a Saturday afternoon, paying money, giving up your time, where you could be shopping and all of that. You've chosen to come here because you know there's another way that's longer lasting to happiness and to peace. So that's the age we're going in. Bill Clinton was just with his wife and his daughter in Los Angeles last weekend, doing a lot of global consciousness for his global, larger organization of going out in the world and helping with so many NGOs all over the world. 20 years ago, it didn't exist. 30 years ago, you never heard of NGOs. 10 years ago, maybe a little bit. The point I'm making is that more people are saying my true happiness is helping others. Dalai Lama came, his presence was so big. He would say simply, I cannot be happy unless you're happy. I cannot be peaceful unless you're peaceful. This afternoon we'll go into what Lord Buddha said at the gates of heaven, to give us all an idea that, one, the answers are within us, and two, once you find those answers, then what you will naturally want to do is go out and help people. But while we think all the answers are on the outside of us, or all of our happiness is on the outside, you'll be consumed with that. You'll be either buying something, or selling something, or getting a new job. Always better, better, better out here. But so many of us are waking up that it's not out here anymore. It's in here. And all the answers are within you. And that's what Guru Nanak said. That's what Guru Gobind Singh said. That's the Aquarian age. When, if I tell you there's a God, when you're a child, you walk out and you tell everyone there's a God. How do you know? My mother told me, my priest told me, my minister told me, my whoever told me. It doesn't work anymore. You have to have the experience. There is a God. You have to have the experience of what peace, happiness, fulfillment, and consciousness on the inside. We're no longer going to look on the outside. So I sit here imparting a technology. Gloria sits here imparting a technology. But if all we did was talk to you about it, and you said, yes, you're right, it'd be a philosophy. But a philosophy is not a truth. It's somebody else's words. That's why we have to work at the yoga. We can't just read about it anymore. The time of philosophy is over. The time of being the doer of it, having the self-experience. So I'm so glad to be here today as we go into this 11-11-11, launching us into our own truth, which is your own happiness. It's the only way. And more people are becoming more and more miserable because they're not finding it on the outside, and they're finding their way to yoga classes throughout the world. Everywhere from where we go, Iceland, to Israel, to Beirut, to South Africa, to all Central and South Americas. There's hardly a country that hasn't been touched by yoga. It's a phenomenon. It's never happened like this. I mean, there's been gyms all over, there's been this all over, but it's a phenomenon that has not happened probably ever on planet Earth or in the history as we know it. that more and more people, maybe it's a gym, maybe it's a university, maybe it's a hospital, more and more people are finding peace in the authenticity of what? Their own breath. Isn't it the funniest thing? We're out here trying to get it, and really what we've been all looking for oh so long is our own breath. Yeah. So let's tune in now. I have a story I want to read, an ancient story, that will exemplify that. So thank you all so much for coming. I know we have, do we have anyone pregnant